They say, never talk about it. Don't talk about it in polite society. Religion and politics don't mix. Don't bring it up at a dinner party. Always cause an eye. We don't talk about it. We ain't going to be changing our world. We're not prepared to listen. If we're not prepared to discuss, if we're not prepared to reflect and consider other people's reviews, what is the future for humanity? If you are going to say that one book categorically pushes the truth with capital T, then there is no future for us as the most successful breed of animal monkey on this planet. You've got to keep moving forward. Science poses the questions. Religion gives you a structure and a discipline in which you can run your life. Some are good and some are bad. Politics gives you an opportunity on the day-to-day, a possibility of trying to decide how you would like your home to feel and where you think your money should be spent for the greater part of society. I am a liberal, and unpopular as it sounds at the moment, I am a Liberal Democrat in the UK. I'm sick of us taking all the fucking slack for all the Tories getting away with it. Remember who the big villains are as well as who the little devil is. And perhaps you should remember that it is you that voted for it, that we've been looking for that kind of situation for many, many years. And now you want to go back to what was yesterday Labour. You don't have an answer there. So I do think you need to change that. In the whole principle of my life, I am a liberal. I have my conservative standpoints, I have my beliefs, but I do not believe that I can force anybody else to believe in them. I can strongly protest my beliefs to them and be able to listen to them regarding their lives. Your liberty ends at the point of my nose. My liberty ends at the point of your nose. We can be as voluble as we like. It would be better if we were capable of listening. If I do not harm or damage anybody else, I don't see what the problem is with what I do with my life. And sometimes I think religion and political structures try to dictate and dominate that, and that is what I am interested in changing. I am a Christian. I am a Gnostic Christian. Gnostic, gnosis, means knowledge, which means I'm allowed to change with learning knowledge. It doesn't mean that I will, even if you tell me that you are definitely right, but it allows me to change. Invariably, I end up arguing with other Christians more than I end up arguing with agnostics, more than I end up arguing with atheists, and more than I end up arguing with Buddhists, Hindus, Jews. I end up arguing with Christians more, and yet I would still say that that is what I am. I was brought up C of E, I went to Welsh Chapel with my grandmother. This said, I believe if there's one God, then the Catholic God got to be the same God as my God. If the Muslims have one God, and there's only one God, then he's got to be the same God. And if the Jews got one God, then very possibly he's got to be the same God as well, isn't he? And if the Hindus see God, although they can create deity, I wouldn't say the Catholics are that much different with the things that they do with Virgin Mary, then they probably believe in one God. You've got the four big ones all encapsulated there right from one time. Whether I'm totally sold on monotheism necessarily as how it came back into existence, I'm not sure. I believe in the one overall, but I also believe there are many, many faces. There are many gateways to enter the happier time afterwards that I believe that we are possibly going to. We want to talk about structure of the two things being brought together. I strongly believe and urge every country to have a secular state. This has been a problem that America has been facing, especially with the push that George Bush gave to a lot of faith-based schools. We've had the same problem in the UK and it's countries like Turkey, for all its faults and failings, that has strongly stuck to what is secular. And I believe that a secular state is the way to go. That the rule of your spiritual life cannot and should not dictate on other people's way of life. And that is the purpose of the state, and that is the purpose of politics, theology, ideology. that there is a structure and a given forum in which the two can be separated. I do not believe it is right that someone from another religious creed can take that as a spiritual highness and then dominate what it is that the state says. To owe allegiance to the state is something that I actually believe America got right. It just happens to be in America you've got several bunches of people that say, I'm Irish American, I'm Nigerian American, and surely that defeats the whole point, doesn't it? You take a book and you just believe one book. You've got to ask yourself a question, and that is, who wrote the book and where does the book come from? You cannot use an answer like God and not explain it, especially where one of the books has Matthew, Mark, Luke and John written in. You've got to kind of think of where those guys were coming from. I think you'll find similar in Judaism, and they say that Muhammad never wrote, so who was transcribing for him then? Yeah? Not enough. The Bhagavad Gita, one of the greatest, longest books in religious history from Hinduism. Yeah. And from what I can say, don't even pretend to say that this wasn't written by people that didn't transcribe the history of those stories. So that is not enough. What you do find in these books is a good ideology and a good way to live your life if you listen and hear what is said. Do I believe in a miracle birth? No. But St. Patrick didn't. So if he didn't, well, that's kind of good enough for me. Do I believe in a lot of the rites in Christianity especially? Yeah, coming direct from a source. Well, someone would need to explain to me why it is that baptism is an Egyptian rite, not a Jewish rite. There are deep things of the social and historical interest that I am passionate about and interested in debating and having conversation about, as much as I'm interested in them being spiritual books. Spiritual books that are the letter of the law that can never change in a world that continues to change. From the moment I start this video to the moment that I finish this video, the world will have changed. You cannot fix yourself and say that you will never listen to anything else. Nor can you say to me that science is the answer. It is for science to create the questions. And I strongly believe that it will be science that gives us those answers. But it may be science that proves or disproves God. It may be science that proves or disproves what the word messianic means and how it meant at a certain time, whether a certain man 2,000 years ago was professing love and peace. Think about it, peace and love 2,000 years ago. It's fucking hard enough to do that now. You know, what kind of muppet or idiot would go around doing that? Hanging out with beggars and vagabonds. These are the things that I am interested in, not whether I hold the one answer, but whether we can work together to create the right answer. That's my one on religion and politics, yeah?